The hedgehog that wanted to fly. Once upon a time, in a quiet corner of a leafy forest, there was a little hedgehog named Tito. Tito was different from the other hedgehogs of his species. While everyone was content, and to be able to walk on the ground, search for food, and sleep during the winter, Tito had a very peculiar dream. Since he was very young, he had observed the birds flying through the sky, and that spectacle he filled with wonder. "Why can't I fly?" Tito thought while watching the birds move among the clouds. Every day, when the sun began to set and the sky was dyed with colors, golds and oranges, Tito climbed a small hill to contemplate the flight of the sparrows, crows, and hawks. He watched them dance with the wind and felt a strange sense of admiration. In his heart, the greatest desire was born. "I want to fly like them." One spring morning, Tito decided that he was going to do everything possible to achieve his dream. He woke up with great energy and began to collect. He would read fallen leaves, thin branches, and strong herbs. With all that, he set about making wings. "If I can make myself some large and strong wings, I will be able to fly through the sky, like the birds," he thought with hope. In Mismo, while working, he spent hours collecting materials and tying the leaves together with twigs, creating a pair of makeshift wings. He tied them to his back with a fiber rope he had found in the forest. The result wasn't perfect, but Tito was convinced it would work. With his little heart beating strongly, he climbed the highest hill in the forest. The wind blew gently, as if the forest were encouraging him. Tito looked toward the horizon and closed his eyes, imagining that at any moment he would begin to rise into the air. "Here I go!" he shouted as he launched himself into the void. But instead of flying, Tito fell rapidly, rolling down the hill, tumbling until he landed in a pile of dry leaves. The little hedgehog was upside down, disoriented, with as deshachas, and the body covered in dust and earth. "Hi! That wasn't as I expected," he exclaimed, trying to get up while the nearby animals laughed at his attempt. The squirrels, the con, and even a couple of owls that were watching from the branches laughed out loud upon seeing Tito on the ground. "Tito, are you all right?" asked a squirrel. Tito slowly got up, shaking himself and the dust from above. His face was red with shame, but he did not give up. "I'm fine, but the wings didn't work," Tito replied with a nervous smile. Little by little, the hedgehog was saving its broken wings, resigned to the fact that flying was not as easy as it had thought. However, in its heart, the hope of being able to fly one day still existed. The next day, Tito decided to try Rollo again. This time, instead of building large wings, he thought he could make smaller ones, like those of sparrows. He spent the whole afternoon collecting lighter materials and making a new version of his wings. He was convinced that, if he made it lighter, he could reach the sky. Once again, he climbed the hill, put on the new improvised wings, and launched himself. But, again, the result was the same. Almost instantly, Tito fell to the ground, this time on a bed of soft moss. "Ugh, why is it so difficult?" he complained as he got up. He was tired, but not cute. He wanted to give up. The little hedgehog, discouraged, decided that he needed a rest. He sat under a tree and observed the sky. For hours he stayed there, watching the birds fly and wondering about that couldn't be like them. Suddenly, he heard a soft chirp. Tito looked around and saw a small bird trapped in some low branches of a tree. Apparently, the little bird hadn't learned, even flying well. He had fallen in the middle of the forest. Tito, despite his frustration, ran towards the little bird. "Are you all right?" he asked with a worried voice. The little bird moved its wings without much success, trying to get up. "I think I fell," said the little bird with a threat of voice. "Don't worry, I'll help you," replied Tito, moving his legs quickly. With great care, Tito helped the little bird to get up, taking it to the tree where it could rest. I settled it on a low branch and sat beside it, watching to see if it was all right. "Thank you," the little bird murmured. Tito smiled At that moment, he realized that, although he could not fly like the birds, he could do something equally important. help those who needed him. During the following days, Tito Vizzi, he took the little bird and helped it strengthen its wings so that it could soon fly again. Together, they became great friends. The little bird, one day, flew again. But this time, before leaving, he said to Tito, "Tito, thank you for your help. Maybe you can't fly like me, but your bravery and your generosity are what make you great. Friendship and love are more important than flight." Tiet, with a smile on its face, felt happier than ever. It knew that, although it could never fly like the birds, it had found something much more valuable, a friend. Maybe it cannot fly, but I can be brave and help others. That is also important, Tito thought while watching the little bird fly through the sky, teaching. Sometimes our dreams do not come true in the what we wait for, but if we seek to help others and be brave, we can find true happiness. Sometimes the most important thing is not what we get, but what we give.